Have you ever had one of those weeks where every knitting project just seems to take a wrong turn somehow? Yeah, that's me this week. Hi everyone, my name is Lisa and you are watching the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast, episode 71, the episode where all of my projects have gone wrong in some way. Yeah, it's been a week of very productive and also unproductive knitting. So yeah, I've got several projects to share with you all today. The trials of knitting, the ups and the downs and the in-betweens. I have some spinning updates to share with you. I have a crochet update to share with you, just a little one. And yeah, nothing finished because, well, you'll see. And yeah, I think we should just dive right on into it. But before we do that, if you like what you see here and want to follow me elsewhere, I hope you will join me on Instagram at Lisa Westervelt Flute Studio, and you can see more information about all the projects I share here on my Ravelry, LisaJack78. In addition to those places, I will of course have all of the information about the patterns and the yarns used in my projects in the description box below this video. So let's get right on into it. I feel like this whole episode today is just pretty much me complaining about all of my projects. So if you're not here for that, you might just want to skip this one. But if you are here for that, just follow me. We may as well start with the big one because this is the project that I have been knitting on the most this week. So, okay, my Feel the Bern sweater. I love this sweater. I do. I really love this sweater. I promise you, I love this sweater. I'm a little bit frustrated with it at the moment, but it's not... I'm frustrated. You know what I'm really frustrated with? Cropped sweater patterns. And why do I feel like I need to make them as cropped as the designer suggests? I need to just stop doing that, and then life will just be better. So, okay, Feel the Bern sweater. So once upon a time, there was a sweater that was a body, incomplete, and had no sleeves. And today, my friends, we have a sweater with sleeves that is now missing the body. So, let's back up a minute. So the Feel the Bern sweater is a free pattern by Caitlin Hunter based on when Bernie Sanders had his mittens meme that was like wildly everywhere and everybody was knitting something, right? I knit my husband a pair of Feel the Bern mittens, Bernie mitten replica or something like that. Not Feel the Bern mittens, but you get what I'm saying. And he loves them. Those are awesome. And I really wanted to make myself something, not necessarily a pair of mittens, but something Bernie inspired. And so I thought that the perfect use for my hand-dyed, naturally dyed with black walnut yarn would be to make a Feel the Bern sweater because the color palette was too perfect, frankly, not to make this sweater. So I will insert a picture of what this sweater looked like last week, a week ago, actually even just a few days ago. And yeah, I had the body done, and the only goal that I had for this month for this sweater was to put 2 sleeves on it and be done with it. I spent a long time debating, should I make the short sleeve version like Caitlin Hunter wrote the pattern for, or should I put long sleeves on it because this is a worsted weight yarn and it's color work, so the yarn is quite warm. And I just didn't feel that the short sleeves were going to really be that practical. I live in New York on Long Island. It gets quite cold here. There's really no need for a worsted weight short sleeve sweater where I live. It's just not necessary. So many of you suggested, and thank you very much for the suggestion, that I would be happier with long sleeves, and so I did that. So we now have long sleeves. I actually knit 3 sleeves for this sweater. So the first thing that went wrong was the first time that I knit the sleeve, I didn't like the fit. So because this was a free pattern and because the sleeves were meant to just be short, there were no instructions for the sleeve. So that was part of what kept me from just going forward with the knitting of the sleeves to begin with, is that I knew I was going to have to figure out how did I want to do the sleeves. It actually turned out to be a really simple solution, but of course before I figured out the simple solution, I did a solution that I thought I wanted fitted sleeves. That was what I thought I wanted for this sweater, so I figured out decreasing every so often, and I knit myself a beautiful sleeve. It fit, but it fit like too snug for my liking. Definitely I wouldn't have been able to wear anything underneath the sweater. Probably I still won't be able to, but that's beside the point. I didn't like how fitted the sleeve was. So I ripped the whole entire sleeve that I had just knit out, and I did take 2. So for take 2, what I decided to do, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. I'm also going to put it in my project notes on Ravelry because, as I said, this not only is this a free pattern, but it didn't have sleeves. So it's a mod to a free pattern. So what I did, I had knit, I think, the size 3 of the sweater, and I picked up, instead of 2 stitches, which is what she said in the pattern, I picked up 4 stitches, and that gave me an even 60 stitches around, which meant 2 things. It meant that when I got down to the pattern work, the patterning is in repeats of 6 stitches. So perfect. 60 stitches is divisible by 6, 10 repeats. So I didn't have to do anything. So what I ended up doing was I picked up 4 stitches under the sleeve, and I just knit straight for I don't know how many inches until I felt like it was long enough. And then I did the color work, no decreases. And then what I did when I got to the dark brown section there was, before I just went right into the ribbing, I knit an additional 5 rounds. So I think I did 6 rounds total. There's 1 round in the chart of just plain no color work, just plain dark brown stockinette. And so I did 6 rows like that before I started the ribbing. And I changed to the smaller size needle in the pattern for the ribbing, and it's a 1x1 ribbing, and I didn't decrease at all. That's all that I did. So I did that again for the second sleeve, and then we had 2 sleeves. So this really should have been a finished sweater, but really, really, really hated the length of the body. I should know better by now that I do not like my sweaters to be cropped. I don't like cropped sweaters. There, I said it. It is out there in the world. I don't like them. They don't work on me. I have a very short torso. So what was happening with this sweater, which is what happens with every cropped sweater that I knit, is that my boobs happen and then the sweater ends. And then that's that. There's nothing covering the rest of anything. It's just basically it goes to my boobs, right under my boobs, and then that's it. And I don't have like a tiny little waist. It just kind of waist, hips, it's all the same at that point. There's no I don't know, maybe there used to be more more shape happening there, but I've never really had a waist. It's just kind of like boobs, butt, right? It's just the way it is. So needless to say, I put it on, and well, there's another thing wrong with it too, but I think I might be able to get away with it. So I put it on and I really just still didn't like it. The sleeves probably are still a little bit short for my taste in sleeve length. They do come down to my wrist, but I usually like mine a little bit longer. I don't think I'm gonna knit the sleeves again. That would have been an easy fix. But the other thing is that I was running out of yarn. Thankfully, I have still not opened my shop. And so I had another skein of the regular black walnut dyed yarn. So I had to grab a third skein now. So this is the yarn that I'm using, is this beautiful, beautiful, rich chocolate brown black walnut dyed yarn. The lighter tan in the color work is one of the exhaust baths of that same yarn. And then the darker brown is over dyed in an iron, well, not really over dyed, it's an iron after bath. So it's the same color brown dipped in an iron water bath afterwards. So I had to dip into a third skein once I decided to make the body longer. I had just barely enough to get through making both sleeves long. I just really didn't like the body length. So what I did was I put my needles in. I found a stitch and I went all the way around and I put my needles in, and then I ripped out all of the color work. The color work, because it's worsted weight and it's a really simple pattern, it went quickly. I for half a second considered cutting it and then grafting it back together, but I decided that that was gonna cause me more anxiety than just like a couple of hours re-knitting the bottom part of the sweater. So I've already put a couple more inches on it, and I think what I'm going to do is keep going more with this medium brown and try to start the body color work kind of where the sleeve color work hangs, so that it's in a similar place when my arms are hanging down at my side. So I think that that's what I'm gonna do for the length of the sweater. Also, I'm gonna do the same thing at the bottom. When the color work ends, instead of just immediately going into the ribbing, I am going to add 6 rounds of the dark brown in straight stockinette before I switch to the ribbing needles, to just get a little bit of extra length there and match what I have done with the sleeves. So the other thing about this sweater, which I'm hoping is not going to bother me anymore once, and I can't put this on now because I didn't put it on waist yarn, it's the needles. If I tried to put this on to show you again, it would fall off the needles. So I don't want to deal with that. But the color work is I did it so well in terms of not carrying my floats too tight. But at the beginning here, like the neckline is really nice and loose. This one band though, this first band of color work, I don't know if it's that I knit it a little bit too tight, or some people said that Caitlin doesn't put quite enough increases in this first, the first color work part, but that doesn't want to go over my shoulders. The whole rest of the sweater fits really great, but this is not going to sit, it's not going to open up and stretch out and fall like down here, like most of my sweaters will fit. This has a higher neck on it. And it didn't make any difference, like when I put the sleeves on, that didn't weigh it down at all. It's just, this is going to sit a little higher on me. And it actually does look quite nice. In general, I would prefer that my neckline be a bit lower. But I think if I can solve the body length of this sweater, I'm hoping that I'll be okay with the fit of it then. If I'm still not okay with the fit of it, then I really will need to do some sweater surgery. I would say I would find a place to insert my needles so that I could preserve from just above the color work here down, and probably keep the collar and then just rip, like maybe cut this off, this colorwork band here, and then pick up my stitches and re-knit this, maybe a larger needle size, or just deliberately holding my yarn a little bit more loosely. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to go there. So yeah, so I met my goal of putting 2 sleeves on this sweater during the month of February. So that did happen. So that was really successful. I absolutely love this sweater though. It's beautiful. I love the colors. I love my black walnut yarn. I think also because I'm using this as a shop sample, but because it's my own hand-dyed, naturally dyed yarn, I want this to be a successful sweater. I don't want this to be a sweater that I won't wear because I'm unhappy with the length. So note to self, I don't like my sweaters too cropped. I don't like them. I'm not comfortable wearing my sweaters that way. I don't really own that many high-waisted pants, so because those are not comfortable on me either because of my short torso. Again, when I have high-waisted pants, it's like they just go to my boobs, and that is not comfortable for me. So yeah, so if you're one of those people that has a longer torso and can wear high-waisted pants comfortably and you enjoy the look of a crop sweater, that is great. But I need to come to terms with that is not me and my body. My body is not that shape. I can't will it to be that shape. It's just never going to be. I could lose 10 pounds, but it's not going to change the fact that I have a very short torso. So it is what it is. I need to just knit my sweaters longer to begin with so that I'm comfortable in them. Okay, so that's my Feel the Burn sweater. Yeah, so that was a lot. I mean, I knit 3 sleeves. I ripped out the whole bottom colorwork section, and now I'm reknitting it. So yeah, I'm hoping that I will really be happy with the length, and that the length will then make up for this being a little bit higher, because it looked beautiful. It's not my preferred neckline, but it's definitely because of this first band of colorwork has no stretch. Like, I don't know, I can put my hands in here. I just don't want to get my needles off, but you can see like the colorwork section like this has a lot of stretch. Here though, there's no stretch. It's just, I don't know if my floats are just very tight or what, but this is all nice and stretchy and loose down here. And this first one here, it won't give at all. So it's not something that I can block out. It's not something that is going to be fixed in any other way than redoing it. And at this point, redoing it, I'm not going to redo the entire sweater. So the only option I see is to cut it out and do some serious sweater surgery if I decide to go that route. So, what else has gone wrong in my knitting this week, you ask? You want to know? I will tell you. Let's get the next one. Okay, so the big one is out of the way. So, Exhibit B over here, we have one finished husband sock. Looks good, right? There are so many things wrong with this. Let's start with the good news. The good news is it fits perfectly. Fit is not the issue here. So let's look at this. I've never knit myself socks this short, let alone my husband. I was knitting away on the leg and I was looking at my yarn. And so this is Gauge Dye Works yarn, which is really important to know because they have a very specific mathematical way of dyeing the yarn where you can get 2 pairs of socks out of 1 skein. So I was knitting and I was like, yeah, I'm not seeing how there's any possibility of getting my husband, who wears a size 12 foot. Do you see how big the foot is on this sock? It's gigantic. It is gigantic. There is no way I'm gonna get 2 socks for my husband out of this. So then I start reading the pattern. And it says after the 4th repeat of the last bird stripe, which would be, so the bird stripes for this is the Great Blue Heron colorway. So it starts with the light blue, goes to here, and then it also has a beige stripe to break it up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, this is after the 4th one. It says switch to the beige yarn, which is the center of the skein. It's all together in 1 skein. That's how she does her yarn. She does like the stripes on 1 half of the skein, and then the other half is toes, heels, and cuffs. I've never seen anything like it. It's really quite brilliant. But that's my first time using this yarn. So because he has such large feet, after the 4th repeat of the bird stripe pattern, I was only this far into the leg. My husband, for this kind of sock, would want trouser length socks. And I've always knit him trouser length socks. He does wear ankle socks, but like the true ankle socks, and he wears them with his tennis shoes in the summer. He's not going to wear this with his tennis shoe. And this is kind of, it's not really ankle length. It's just like a short sock. So I was like, you know, I don't think he's going to like it. But maybe I'll be wrong, because he was already like, you shouldn't knit me socks because it just means you're going to have to buy extra yarn. Because I was telling him I didn't think I was going to have enough yarn and I was going to have to buy another skein, which he wasn't so thrilled about. He's got really big feet. What can I say? So last night I was like, well, I could just follow the pattern and do the cuff ribbing on it. And by all logic, according to the pattern, according to how Gauge Dye Works dyes the yarn, I should have enough to knit the second sock too. So I finished the sock and I told my husband, I said, this is the deal with the sock. I can get 2 socks for you out of this 1 skein of yarn, but they're going to be short like this. And I don't really think you're going to like it, but I did it that way so that you could try it and let me know if you like it or not, because who am I to say if he's going to like it or not? We've been married almost 10 years, a few months shy of 10 years. So I think I know pretty well like what he's going to wear and what he's not going to wear. So I finished it. I was pretty sure he wasn't going to go for it, but what do I know? Maybe he would have felt like with pants it was going to be okay. He decided it's not going to be okay. Surprise, surprise. It would be too weird to wear these with pants and have like shorter socks with his pants and be able to feel his pants against his leg. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where we are, is that I'm now going to have to rip out the cuff and make it longer. And then I'm also going to have to buy another skein of yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order from Canada another skein of this yarn. Because it's from Canada, I'm probably going to order some other things too, because that is just good common sense, right? Shipping free shipping if you spend a certain amount, make better use of the cost of the shipping by getting more yarn. So there's going to have to be another yarn purchase. That's not the only thing that I did wrong with this pair of socks, though. I doubted myself all along, but for some reason I did not. The wording of the pattern didn't really click with me until last night. I was like, isn't the bottom of the socks where all those pearl bumps are gonna feel really funny? I was only supposed to do the pearl bump pattern on the top of the foot. Like, duh, right? I mean, anybody, any idiot could have told you that, right? But for some reason, I did not realize it until last night when I was finishing off the cuff. I am not gonna reknit it. I'm gonna knit his second sock eventually when I get the yarn the exact same way, because if it's gonna feel funny on one foot, it's gonna feel funny on both feet. I'm not redoing it. He has big feet. So all of that happened. But what I'm gonna do, did I drop a stitch over here too? I might have a dropped stitch in here too. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you see? Do you see this? Don't tell me I have to do this whole thing. Do you see what this is right here? I wonder if I can just tack that down, or if this is a sign that I just need to start this whole thing over, which I don't want to do. I can't tell if it's gonna unravel. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna tack this down. Do you see? All right. Do you see this over here, you guys? Oh my goodness. What is that? What is that? I mean, I know what it is, but why is it there? Okay. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish knitting this sock. I'll fix that little thing so it doesn't unravel. And then I should have enough yarn left over to do something for Owen between whatever I have left of this when this is said and done. And then there'll be an identical something, whatever's left after I knit Bryce his second sock. So hopefully they can kind of sort of have matchy-matchy socks. But I'm not even going to be able, I mean, Owen will wear shorty socks. And maybe I could make his like truly shorty socks. I mean, I guess I could do that with Bryce's too. Like I could I think he would like this better in a trouser sock though, because I don't think my husband is going to wear shorty socks in like a colored full striped pattern like this. So I think I really am better off just knitting this a full trouser length sock, and then whatever I have left, if it's only enough to do like a shorty sock for Owen, that should be fine, because he's a kid and he's 8, he'll wear anything. He'll wear anything. Nothing has to match. It can be whatever. He's happy. So I think that's the plan. But yeah, hopefully the pearl bumps on the bottom of the foot aren't going to bother him too much. But as I said, I'm just going to make the second one the same way, because I wouldn't want one sock to feel really good and then the other one to feel funny. I'd rather just both socks feel really funny. And he'll wear them, I think. So my goal for February was also to have one husband sock done. I think I can still get there. Today is Saturday. I still have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday before February is over. So I think we can still fix this one sock situation here and technically get that done. But I had another sock mishap this week too. Another one on a pattern that I have knit a gazillion times. let me grab that one. So this sock, Exhibit C, exhibit number 3, Exhibit C. I love this sock. This is the yarn, it's called That Fall Feeling. It was one of Knitterly Things sock clubs, and I knit a pair of socks, exact same socks for Owen, a couple months ago. I love them so much I wanted a pair for myself. And he and I, his feet are still small enough, although they just grew like 2 sizes without me realizing it. And he's almost caught up to me now, but I can still squeeze out 2 pairs of socks, one for me and one for Owen, using one skein of Knitterly Things yarn and one of her minis. So, okay, what happened? The pattern that I am using is my go-to sock pattern. I knit at least half of my socks. I feel like in this pattern it is my knitted heart vanilla socks, and I knit these socks all the time because after you do the cuff ribbing, when you get to the leg, you continue the cuff ribbing down the sides only, and the front and the back are plain stockinette. Okay, so this looks great. Everything's good. We're on take 2 of my heel now because I put the heel on. I started knitting the foot. The ribbing is supposed to go down the sides of your foot, the sides of your leg, the sides of your foot, the bottom and top of your foot, right? Just plain stockinette. When I put the heel on, I split for the heel, and I didn't realize it, but I had it so that the ribbing was going down the front and the back of my leg and not the sides. And so I realized it at some point, almost finished doing the heel, and I was like, you know what? It's fine. When I get to the foot, I'll continue the ribbing down the top of the foot, and I'll just do stockinette on the bottom of the foot. And so I started proceeding in that way, and then I tried it on, and I hated the way it looked. I did not like the way that little bit of ribbing looked going down the front of my foot. I just didn't like it. So I ripped out the little bit of the foot that I had done. I ripped out the entire heel. And now I have just started putting on the heel in the correct place. Oh my gosh, I've got this. So this is where it should be, along the back of the foot. And you can clearly see the ribbing is now at the sides where it belongs. This isn't even a project that I'm supposed to be working on this month. I mean, supposed to, according to like my own self-appointed knitting goals. This is just a easy project to have like going on in the background while I take care of some bigger things and tackle some bigger, more focused knits. So to have made such a silly mistake like that, that was actually the first thing that had gone wrong out of like everything that I just showed you. So that takes care of all the things that went wrong in my knitting this week. I do have something that, let's go to crochet for a minute. I have knitting to go back to. There are some good things about my knitting this week, so I will share those. But while we're talking about things that have just gone wrong, let's just get the last one out of the way too, and let's talk about my first crochet project. So I do not crochet at all. I have one other time in my entire life, and it was 20 years ago. I crocheted successfully a stuffed cat for my niece, and I guess it wasn't quite 20 because she is 16. She's 16 now, or 15. I think she's 16. She's 16. it all blurs together. But so yeah, 16 years ago, it was like a welcome to the world newborn baby gift for my niece. And so I successfully crocheted, I almost said knit, I successfully crocheted some kind of stuffed cat that was a tear out from some magazine that my mom had. Like, I didn't even have the magazine. I had like pages torn out of a magazine that my mom had given me. So like, I can't even tell you what it was from. I don't have a picture of it, anything. But it was successful. And then I didn't crochet again until a few weeks ago. So for Christmas, I had gotten Owen this Pokemon crochet kit. And so this is the little instruction book that came with the kit. And it comes with yarn to make Pikachu. And I mean, I don't know Pokemon very well, but Pikachu, if you don't know, is the yellow one. So it comes with the yarn for that. So I have successfully now crocheted, I keep wanting to say knit, crocheted like this much of Pikachu. I had to do it again because I don't know if you guys have ever done one of these. Like, this is one of these kits. I've got the box right here. It's one of these box kits that are on the shelves at the craft stores. They have it for like any Disney thing, Harry Potter. They have a million of these to like for whatever your fandom interest is. So I thought, you know, since Owen expressed some interest in crochet, that I would get him this one. And he is still not beyond doing a chain stitch, which is okay. So in the meantime, because I also don't remember anything about crochet, I've decided to go ahead and make Pikachu for him and figure out how to do all of these things, how to read the instructions. So the way that the instructions go, I'm not going to give too much away, but it says like round 1, 6 SC single crochet in magic ring. So I looked up how to do that. And then round 2, 2 SC in each SC. And then for round 3 and every round after, it goes 2 single crochet in each second single crochet, 2 single crochet in each third, fourth, fifth, and etc. for each round. So the first time that I did this, notice it didn't say anything about single crochet for the first X amount of stitches. And then it finally dawned on me that it wanted me to increase, right? I mean, I knew it wanted me to increase. But what I was doing the first time is that I wasn't doing a single crochet in all of those stitches in between. I was just jumping to that second or third or fourth or whatever and single crocheting in that stitch without doing anything on the stitches in between, because the instructions didn't say to do anything on the stitches in between. So I don't think that the instructions are very clear. And I was able to figure it out only after like doing it totally incorrectly, because it finally dawned on me, like as a knitter who's followed all of these knitting patterns, that if I'm growing stitches, I need to be doing something on all of those other stitches. It's not just doubling in those specific stitches, right? So the first time was a total fail. So I ripped it all out, started again, and then I did follow the instructions. And so what I'm having trouble with though is if I'm counting, I'm fine. If I get distracted, I have no idea how to tell where I started going around in a circle. It's like a spiral, right? It keeps spiraling. I mean, the end, this is probably supposed to be a completely sealed bottom, but I'll fix that at the end. I don't know How to mark the beginning of the round, I have no idea. So I think I've kind of sort of done this correctly now, but I really don't know. I really don't know if I have. I really don't know if I've done, I know that I have the correct amount of stitches now. I have no idea if I've done the correct amount of rounds. And if I have like counted the start of my round in the accurate place. I have absolutely no idea. So for those of you who are experienced with crochet, how do you tell where your round starts? How do you mark it? Should I have just put a stitch marker in there? It didn't say anything about putting a stitch marker anywhere, so I didn't. So now I'm just kind of like, I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. But I think that we are successfully making something that is resembling the butt of Pikachu that will have stuffing in it. I think after doing a little bit more, I'll get to figure out how to decrease. Because if you look at Pikachu there, he's got a little bit of a shape to him, right? And then I'll have to increase again for the head. And then I'll have to decrease at some point to like close off his head. So I guess I'm gonna learn how to decrease and then do arms and legs. I've picked this up a little bit. I've got the hang of single crochet now, so I can do chain stitch. I can do single crochet. I still wouldn't say that I can do this magic ring thing successfully. I think it looked better the first time that I did it. I'm pretty sure it's probably supposed to be completely closed up, but I don't know. But I'm gonna call this a successful second go, other than I have no idea how to tell where the round starts. So help with that. Let's go into some happier knitting project news now. It's just a couple little updates. Okay, so on a happier knitting note, I have updates on a couple projects I showed you last week. I got a couple of things blocked. So the first thing that I got all blocked is Owen's Roku hat. So the instructions said to block it with the ribbing stretched out. So that is what I did. This was knit in Spincycle Trine in the 14 colorway. And he looks so cute in it. I took some finished object photos on him because he wore it out the other day. And he wore it right before we went out to get his hair cut. He looks cute with the brim folded up. So this is how I think it looks so much better now. It's a bit slouchier. Last time, like, I didn't know what to do with, I still don't really know what to do, but I feel like it looks much less elf hat-ish now that it's like a little bit more slouchy. So like I'm definitely enjoying the fit of this a lot better now. Like maybe I'll make myself one. The first time I tried it on, when I showed you guys last week, I was like, I don't think that that's for me, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. So I wanted to give you guys a fit update. And then, let's see, my hair is going to be all crazy now. I'll put pictures of Owen wearing it, but he basically wears it with the brim folded up a good amount, like that. And so, so with the brim folded up, it looks like that. So I would probably knit it, I knit the smallest size for Owen. If I were to make it for somebody else who wanted the brim folded up, like I would probably knit a bigger size or knit a little bit more inches, because I think like the nice wide brim looks really great. I think you could easily like make less of a brim if you wanted a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty cute. But I think I'm really enjoying like the wider brims these days. So I think, I mean, not that I've knit myself a hat that has a brim or anything, but I like the look of them a lot. That seems to be like the style these days, and they look really cute. So I just think that like this much brim looks really nice. But I think that the idea of having more slouch in there, I think that looks kind of cute now. What do you guys think? So I can't see the side of my head now, but yeah, let me know. I'll see it on the video. So that was some happy news, is that I got this like 1000% finished. So the other thing that I did get blocked was my Artist's Journey sweater. So it's blocked and it's dry. I haven't tried it on. Maybe I should try it on for you guys so that we can see how it fits now. Do you guys want to see? Let's do it. I really like it. I really, really, really like it. Okay, so yeah, so it relaxed a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's not a huge like boxy shape or anything, but there's definitely like, this is my waist. I've got some room here. But I think you can also see it's just, it hits in a nice place. It's not too short. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too short. The sleeves blocked out really nicely. They were, last time, they were more like bracelet length, and so now they're exactly where I like them. And so, yeah, move my chair a little bit. So I think that that's gonna look really, really nice. So, so that's some exciting news. That's really good. The bad news is, you can already see, I will change back in a second and show you all of the ends that I still have to weave in, because I have not woven in any ends yet. So that's like the big downer about this sweater, is I still have all of these ends. How many ends? I'm not gonna count, but I can show you. Hang on. Okay, so it's a lot. It's a lot. There's all of these. there's all of these down the sleeve. And there's all of these down like the one side of the body. Thankfully, yeah, and then there's all of these. It's a lot. Thankfully, with all the color work, weaving in ends and color work tends to be a lot more quick for me, because you can just pretty much easily tuck them into the floats and trim them. But it's just so many. I mean, look at all of this. It's so many. It's a lot. So that's gonna keep me busy. I would like to have this sweater completely finished to wear for my next video. So I don't know that I'll feel like I can sit down and attack all of these ends in a single session. Sometimes what I do, though, I'll tell you my weaving in end motivational trick, is I'll choose a color. I don't do this all the time. Sometimes I just like start at a certain place of the garment and just work my way from like bottom to top, or top to bottom, or sleeve to, you know, something. But sometimes when I have a lot of ends like this, is I'll choose a color and I'll say, okay, every single end that is this color yarn, I'm gonna weave in all of those right now. And I won't worry about the others. I'm just gonna do color by color. So then like gradually it gets less. I might have to do that for this one because there are just so many. So I have some spinning to share with you guys today. So let's move on to spinning, because that is all like really, really happy news. So let's do spinning. I have two spinning updates. So the first spinning update is I have an almost completely finished yarn again, or two yarns. So this is my Wild Wolf Farm yarn, and I got all of it plied up. I ran out of my wool wash. Yeah, I don't have any wool wash left. I need to get more wool wash, and then I can like wet finish it. So, oh my gosh, it is so, so pretty. So I'll share this again when I have actually like washed and dried it. But let's see, here's all the blue. I haven't counted the yardage or anything, but I've got all the blue, and so I'll just kind of loosely hold it up. So it's not been wet finished, but it is all plied, and it's so, so pretty. It's like a beautiful heathered kind of yarn. I noticed when I plied it that it's not one of my more consistent yarns. So that's okay. I'm not upset about it, but yeah, it's not as consistent as I thought it might be. But then I finished today. I actually did all the plying for the purple, and so, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So this is let me see if I can kind of hold it up. So this is the purple. Can we focus, please? There we go. It is so pretty. I especially really like the purple. But again, like it's actually pretty thick and thin. Like it's not nearly as thick and thin as the last yarn that I did, that I was doing it on purpose. I wasn't doing this one on purpose. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing for this one, but it's gorgeous. I love that it looks hand spun. Like it's not even, it's not consistent, and I'm okay with that, but this one is so beautiful. So I have to see, I can't find any more of those little individual packs of Eucalan. I think I must have used all of them. I can't find them. So I might have to wait a little bit to wet finish this, but when I wet finish it, I will share it again. But what this meant was that I freed up my favorite spindle, and I started spinning tonight that amazingly beautiful fiber that I got from Paradise Fibers in the February Fiber Club. So let me get it, because oh my gosh, is it so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, so I have 6 ounces of this all together. I forgot to bring the card out here, and it is with a sleeping husband right now, so I'm not gonna go get it. I'm gonna try to remember what this is. Percentages are going to be wrong, but I think I've got the fibers. I think that what this is, and I'll put it on the screen if I am misremembering, or I'll put the exact percentages up too, but it's merino, and then I think it is kid silk, and that blue is stellina, and it is so pretty. So I'm trying to hide my face so that we can focus in. Can we see? I don't know how much of the blue sparkle. There we go. You can see that, I think. I love that it's a little bit, like there's enough of it in there, but it's subtle, and it is so soft. I needed to free up the spindle before I could dig right into this. And seriously, as soon as I finished plying the purple, I started it. And so look at what I've spun up so far. Get my face out. There we go. Is it focusing? I feel like maybe I'll stand up. Let me get my shirt there. Goes really well with my shirt, actually. Maybe that's worse. I don't know. It is so pretty. It is spinning up like a dream. It is so pretty. It is, it's pretty thin. so far. It's, I hate trying to show the spinning. Like there we go, maybe you can see it on there. So that's the thickness that I am spinning it to right now. I'm having such a good time with this spin. So I have 6 ounces to work with, which is such a good amount. I'm tempted to want to get more. I think this might be a limited edition though, so if I'm gonna get any more, probably I should do it soon. So I don't know, but I'm really, really enjoying it. It is so pretty. Don't focus on me, focus on the yarn, please. Maybe don't put my face in there. It's so pretty, it's so good. Let me just get my whole head out. Is it working? I can't tell, I can't see the screen. But I love it. It is so, so nice. So this is what we've got. So yeah, I'll edit the fiber content, like the percentages. I want to say it's like 50, 40, and 10, or 54 merino. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's 54% merino, 40% kid silk, mohair, and 6% of the stellina. I'm not sure, but I'm so excited about this one. So this is going to be like the thing that I am just spinning, spinning, spinning all the time now. If you guys want to get this, which I highly recommend, you guys can use my affiliate link. I will have it in the description box below this video. I recently received an affiliate link from Paradise Fibers. I still purchased this myself, but if you decide to purchase through my link, you'll not pay anything extra or anything like that, but it will help, like I'll get like a small commission off of your purchase. So that would just be kind of a nice way to say thank you and show me like your support. No pressure, but yeah, that's an easy way that you can show me some support for the things that I show you on this podcast. Another easy way to show your support is, of course, liking and subscribing to my videos. So I always appreciate all the likes and the subscribes, and leave me a comment. Yeah, so, all right. I don't usually have episodes that are so complainy like this one, but it was every single project this month, just something, not this month, but this week, I mean, something happened to make it like not go smoothly. In the end, it will all be fine. That's the beautiful thing about knitting. You can take it out and you can do it again. And it's great. So it's just, it might take a little bit longer. But yeah, I would love to hear about how your knitting is going, particularly if any knitting has gone wrong, like it has for me. Solidarity. So I hope that you guys have a great week. I will be back probably in just a couple days with another video, because I am really eager to get planning my March and spring knits. So I am eager to lay out what those plans are and tell you all about them in my next video. So I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.